Well, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for your interest. Today we have an amazing man. His name is Fernando Rodriguez. And Fernando, I didn't know before Unchurch. There was a post that asked about what was your last major life transition? And he replied, it was the unfolding, the awareness, the activation of his natural healing ability. And that just intuitively was so attractive to me that I wanted to know more about Fernando and more about the natural healing. And as I've got to know him more about understanding how he helps people tap into that so that, again, they know their purpose and live their purpose. And again, it's just so attractive to me that I wanted you to get to know Fernando a little bit better as well. And maybe perhaps, again, this is something that you've experienced, that you've been able to tap into your natural gifts. Maybe it's something you're just considering. Or maybe it sounds, I don't know, just impossible. Frankly, I think there would have been a time in my life I would have thought this is something, well, maybe possible for Fernando, not possible for me. And that's part of what this is about, is if you doubt that this gift of being able to tap into your natural healing ability for yourself, maybe for others, and again, knowing, not doubting, knowing and living your purpose in life. What's my and Fernando's intention at the end of our time together, you'll have a different understanding, and it'll be for the better. So again, thank you for joining us, and thank you, Fernando, for being present with us. I am so happy and excited to spend some time with you right now. So in your own words, could you share with the group a little bit about the experience of tapping into your natural healing ability?
Of course. Thank you very much. Hello, Randy, and hello, everyone in the community who is watching this video. My name is Fernando Marengo Rodriguez. My surname is Marengo Rodriguez. Here in Latin America, we use two surnames. And I was born in Argentina 42 years ago in this life. And then I studied electronic engineer, doctor engineer. I worked as a scientific researcher, professor at the university, and also as an engineer for other companies abroad. And it was everything, let's say, fine for a conventional life, for an ordinary life, but there was something missing. And I was asking to myself for many years, there's something else. What is that? What is that? Who am I? Who am I really? I don't know yet. And that was until the year 2015, when I was already here living in Brazil, in Florianópolis, the south of Brazil. And I was introduced into the path of healing and self-healing through nature, what is shamanism, and in this modern time, it is neo-shamanism. And I was introduced into that, and I was guided by Turjaban Solar, my mentor, and other people in his team. And I found myself at home when I did that self-healing. I started to heal very important emotional issues. And then I said to myself, this is really doing very good to me. This is something that makes sense. I feel at home after over 20 years of search for a true spiritual path, guided by people who do what they say. And now everything is making sense. So I said to me, okay, let's move forward. And I continue to practice some disciplines. One is the 5-step morning ritual that I've been performing for 7 years at this moment. It consists of a physical exercise called shower, writing the goals of the day, visualizing them, and meditating. And many people say morning routine. It's not a routine, it's a ritual because it's done with full presence. And once we do things with full presence, we are not on automatic mode. We are paying attention to the present moment. We are enjoying with our five senses. And when we have those five senses well activated, then it is a natural consequence to activate our sixth sense, our intuition, which in the long run, it can become telepathy. And many people can do that. And actually, every person that has been using this 5 morning ritual, everyone, there is no single person who has performed that hasn't got at least excellent results. So it always work, always work. And it allowed me to awaken some natural talents or inner gifts. And one of those inner gifts is by helping other people heal themselves and close the cycles in just one session of emotional burden that have been affecting those people for many years. It has been helping for other people who have been having chronic back pain for 3 years, and in just 15-minute ritual in some places in nature, they are healed in only 15 minutes. Only 15 minutes. People who have been suffering for years, and other people who have been in wheelchair, in just a 10-minute call, they have already been healed. And she stood away, she started to walk on her own, and she said, Fernando, I can't believe it. This is incredible, wonderful, the testimonial. So the key here is miracles happen, miracles are possible. Miracles are more frequent than what we used to think about. We just have to focus on those wonderful things that are happening around us. Wonderful things. And it's only up to us to focus on those beautiful things that are happening just in front of our eyes, and we have to cultivate certain things to allow the miracles to take place. We have to cultivate self-respect, which is most of all in our solar plexus. Some people are having emotional problems, especially with self-esteem. They have to cultivate self-respect. Some other people have to cultivate self-love. And there are many other ingredients many people have to cultivate. I also am doing my own work, and I am just an apprentice in my spiritual path. But I'm very happy to say that, yes, it is possible to start a spiritual journey. Yes, it gives you very important tools to make a significant shift in your life and in other people's lives with not much effort. And that's the most important thing. Many people think spirituality is about, okay, you're meditating in the forest or in the mountain and you're doing nothing for no one else. No, it's not about that. It's that we awaken our whole human being inside of us. Otherwise, there is no difference between the majority of the human beings and the animals. Many people, they take action based on their instincts. Some people use their reasons, but most people use their instincts. And the pandemics show that many people are taking action based on instincts and fear. Where is the reason? And most of all, where is spiritual, emotional balance and spiritual connection? If you see carefully, people who have been having emotional issues in these last few years are those people who are very far away from a spiritual path. So that's it.
So you mentioned that there is a need of self-esteem, self-love, self-worth for this spiritual journey to begin. do you have any suggestions on, if a person is recognizing that there's moments that they're more in fear than in love, and again, a lot of that, well, I'll speak for myself. There was a time, again, I had self-hatred. It wasn't self-esteem, self-worth. Oh, no, 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 no. That wasn't even, again, it was, I'd been living a lie so much. I'd lied to myself so much. Again, no one likes a liar. Well, again,
Exactly.
my head was lying to me about things, and I was accepting the lies. I had betrayed myself, and I hated myself. That, yeah, it just basically the idea of self-love was so far away, was on another planet, that I began, frankly, was just to stop. It's just the possibility of stop hating myself was where I was at. So there may be other people that are listening to this, that what we're talking about is far reach. Again, we don't know who is listening to this moment, but I'm sure you have some insights to help people begin this journey. Could you share with the group some of the suggestions you'd have?
Well, we are here because we are a product of love. If we practice self-love, we are honoring our existence here. And we have to find and connect ourselves with a purpose. Why are you here? Why are you living this life? And if you don't find a reason, you can build one. You can say, okay, I'm going to give a meaning to my life, to make my life meaningful by helping other people. We don't have to meditate. Oh, I have to do a course of meditation in order to help others. No. If you can provide food for other people, that's something really, really important that other people is really needing. And everyone who performs that, they feel much better. If I provide food or clothes for other people in need, I will feel much better. And for those people who are suffering a lack of self-love, the thing that was very useful for me is to practice the morning ritual. The first thing you do in your day affects you for the rest of the day. And the last thing you do at the end of the day, it will prepare you for the following day. So why this? Because when we wake up in just a very short amount of time of 30 minutes, and just before going to sleep, our brain is in theta mode. I mean, we produce certain waves in our brain, and there is higher intensity of theta in those moments, in the beginning and the end of the day. And that is very, very, very good for reprogramming our mind. For saying, for instance, when we wake up, do the morning ritual, at least do a 5-minute workout or dance for 5 minutes. There are many YouTube videos. You can put a dance, salsa, bachata, merengue, whatever. There are many musical rhythms to make our body shake and feel energized and get prepared to act, for action. And after that, a 2-minute cold shower. If you have 10 minutes, you can do that. So that's an act of self-love. That's an act of self-care. How care of yourself? Most people, when they wake up, what they do, I just check the phone. No, that's the worst thing you can do. So I stopped doing that for many years ago. Now, when I wake up, okay, I turn off the alarm, if I put the alarm, and then I do workout. Even if with my son, if he's wake up, he's 15 months old, and if he is already awake, and I say, okay, Kawan, come here, we will do workout together. And I put some music, and I'm done with him. So there is no excuse here. We just have to dedicate that time for ourselves. What kind of dad do I want to be for my son? If you don't find yourself reason for loving yourself, find reason for your son or your children to love you. Who do you want to be for your children? I want to be an exceptional father, a very good and present father for my son. And I say, Kawan, this is me. I want to share quality time with you. Let's dance. And I put some music, and then I can take a cold shower, and then, okay, let's do some things. And at the end of the day, you can feel gratitude for 3 things you have in your life: for breathing, for being alive, for having a house, for having food, for having a family, for having a bed. Not everyone is able to do that. There are many reasons why we have to really feel happy. And then gratitude will come, will little by little displace hate. Does it make sense?
Very much so, very much so. And I love how you're expressing your self-care by caring for your son, because what was very helpful for me is like, what, again, self-love, it's not anything that I know. It wasn't demonstrated by my parents and such, and again, because I was so hateful, I wasn't around people like that. And then it dawned on me, taking care of Randy in the same way I would take care of someone I love, like a child. Do I want my child to eat nourishing, healthy food? Do I want my child to have activities that makes him feel alive? Okay. Do I want him to receive and be able to freely give love without judgment and concern, without fear, to be him actualizing himself, his character, his personality, on and on, all the things that I would want a child, a son or a daughter, to experience. And again, making that possible for myself, and then again, accepting the invitation to doing things that are for, again, if anyone's familiar with reparenting, this type of nurturing I didn't receive as I was developing as a human and such, that I can now, it's impossible to go back in time, but it is very possible right here, right now, to be responsible for giving myself the nurturing that I didn't have, and I craved when I was younger. So yeah, I'm so glad that you talk about, again, part of your daily rituals, the just the habits that you do to begin a very wonderful way of living, and concluding each day as well too. That I can say for myself, yeah, taking time to contemplate things that I often would be taking for granted. A bed, absolutely. I live in luxury. Okay, maybe not like the rich man does, but compared to the majority of the world, my bed is very soft and comfortable. I live in a house that has air conditioning. Most of my life I grew up, I did not have air conditioning and such. I never go hungry. Okay, I have gone hungry in my life, and I know billions of people today will go hungry. Again, you talk about a cold shower. There are many people that don't have access to be able to keep themselves clean. And again, there's so many things that if I compare myself to those that have what I feel I lack, then I'm gonna find what I lack. And again, if I compare myself to those that I feel I have more of, then I will have that gratitude. And somewhere again in the balances, it's like I may not be exactly all the things that I desire and prefer in life, but then there's also things that I take for granted. And so again, there's a gratitude just for most moments in the day. If I'm present, if I'm mindful, if my intention is towards now, today, it is not difficult. Well, it's because I've done this deliberately. If we set the intention and we're deliberate, like you've just said, we were deliberate about beginning the day and ending the day in these ways, then it becomes something that is not as much effort. And again, I don't have to necessarily fight myself and fight each moment trying to control those things outside of myself. trying to calm my emotions or as well, and such that I can feel life. And that's, I think, another thing when we were getting to know each other, you talked about, again, getting out of the head and everything being so in the mind, in the head, in our bodies, but also feeling. Could you, again, share a little bit with the group how the feeling is part of the healing process?
Yes, yes. I'm laughing because many people used to talk about mindset, but what about the heart? What about our heart? According to studies, the electromagnetic field generated by our heart is 5,000 stronger than the field generated by our brain.
Wow.
So we forget about the most powerful tool we have, which is this, our heart. And you know what? There are many people suffering cancer from many parts of their bodies, except our heart.
Wow, I never considered that before. Thank you.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Now you see, things are so simple. We just complicate life. We just complicate things, but life actually, it is very, very simple. We're just complicated because of many things that we allow the system to manipulate us. We allow the media, we allow many other resources to contaminate our mind and our hearts. So most of people nowadays, they are disaligned with themselves. That's why they are unhappy. Look at those people who are really, really, really happy. Which is the pattern they have? They are aligned with their feelings. They're not judging, not at all. So we have to follow those good examples, regardless of their religion, regardless of their beliefs. Look, there is a pattern, and the pattern is they don't judge, they just live the present moment, and they have their hearts open. Having our hearts open, it means we don't need to believe. We just are like we just have to be like kids, like children, right? Children like to explore. I look at my son, I say, oh, look, he's exploring there. He's not judging, he's just exploring. Open the mind, be curious, and just be willing to discover. Once we are willing to discover, then we allow the feelings to come to us. There is no judgment. I mean, there is no right or wrong. Right or wrong is an invention. It is an invention of the society. Guilt is an invention of many companies and many organizations to control people. And hate as well. Many organizations are already cultivating hate to control people, to say, oh, say no to them. And who say that? There is no religion that says, as far as I know, you have to hate these people. No, there is no religion that talks about that, and there are no spiritual leaders that talk about that. So we have to be reasonable and follow the example by those amazing beings. But my own experience says that when I started, since I already studied, I worked as a scientific researcher, and I'm still a researcher. And it's easy to, for me, it was very easy to be too rational. But I have to awaken my intuitive and creative part, which is the most important one, according to a scientist called Albert Einstein. And he said people are using too much the rational mind, and they forget about the intuitive and creative mind. So in my spiritual path, I started to open my heart and to be willing to discover as a children do. And when I was willing to discover, then the messages were delivered to me alone. And anyone can do that. Not me, anyone can do that. And since I was quite well honest with myself, then you get into the spiritual realm where there is no room for lies, especially for yourself. If you're honest with yourself, they feel that, and the magic is revealed to you. And that magic was revealed to me by means of certain messages. And I help those people, those clients who are working with me, who want to connect with their higher self, who want to find a purpose and to start to put their purpose in action through a project, even therapists or healers. The great resource they have is connection with the spiritual realm. And once they have the help of the spiritual realm, it happens that those beings already start to deliver very precise messages to the people. Be careful with these people, take advantage of this opportunity, or you have to take action now regarding this topic. Those are very, very precise messages. So in every spiritual evolution, when you open our hearts and you are judging nothing, you're just opening and discovering the truth via messages started to be revealed to you. And when you follow their steps, you realize that it is about their messages and they are guiding you. And you just have to follow that. You don't have to say, oh, no, it makes sense, or I have to find out the numbers and see rationally if it makes sense. No, there is no room for rational people. We have to be quite intuitive, the other part, intuitive and creative mind. So that's the thing, to allow ourselves to connect with our intuitive and creative mind. I have even a very powerful exercise to allow people to connect with their intuitive and creative mind. And once they do that, they discover things that they had never discovered before in their life. And once they do that, they say, wow, something new was revealed to me. Now we will start this project and I will make this happen. Wonderful. I say, congratulations. Take action, move forward, and be happy with your project. And that's my biggest source of happiness, when I see the smiles and their eyes already shining in other people's face.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, so being curious like a child.
Yes.
But that's so simple. It's just not easy. You need to be courageous to be curious, to
yes.
practice fearless vulnerability. My friend Dave Brisbane, who
exactly.
will be interviewing as well too. He talks about fearlessness. Yes.
There is one important thing, and sorry to interrupt you, that I forgot to mention, and it's the following. When the majority of the people are already living inside the matrix, like the cave myth of Plato, right? So people are already living in a community and they're just being showed only an invention of the reality created by the system. Only a few have the courage to go out, to escape that cave, and to see the light of the knowledge. I don't refer to the knowledge of rational knowledge. I mean knowledge to our divine part, to what makes our eyes shine bright, what makes our hearts pump really strong. That's what the light is about. And for those people who discover the light, and they used to go back to their original place, to their original tribe, and say, hey, I discovered the light of knowledge. Come with me, I will join you. And there are some very many spiritual teachers that do that, and they're prepared for that. But some people, common people who do that, what happens? They are judged by those people. They are not only judged, but they are also excluded from the society. And that's when many spiritual seekers end up being alone and lonely. And that's a very hard part. In that stage, it is fundamental to join a tribe.
Yes.
So that you know that you are not alone. Other people are already walking with you. they're already alone, but they are already walking with you, and they understand you, and then they feel your concern, and they say, okay, you're not alone. We are walking here. I'm walking this path. You are walking that path. I'm already going to help you if you need my help, and vice versa. So that's when we set up our healers network. We have a healers network in our in the Facebook website, and we are making periodic meetings. We had yesterday a meeting of 16 people taking part. All of them are spiritual seekers and therapists and healers, and because they felt alone before, and now we all see that we are in a tribe. We understand each other. We are in a safe place, and we take action because we support each other. That's something fundamental.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that was what I was going to say is typically for me to be courageous, I have to know that again, I don't know what is new. Again, I only know what I'm familiar with. And to leave the familiar and go into the unknown, I can't do it alone. I have to have at least one other person, typically who has made the journey already, and he can help give me the safety of navigating to know which it is. And of course, it's a metaphor, but again, just having at least one person that can say, you're going to be okay, Randy. And what feels crazy, feels, again, it's non-rational, doesn't make any sense, is perfectly normal on this journey. But again, myself, the churches I go for, it was all about, in my head, about certainty. I have to have it all figured out before I go to the journey and such. And no one has it all figured out. If there's anything, when I recognize those that have had a very shallow spiritual experience. Again, we all have these moments in life that are connecting with nature and connecting with something bigger than ourselves. But again, it's very much, they speak with a certainty that their spiritual experience is the same that you should have. And that's the challenge, again, with like the institution of religion, that this is the way it's supposed to be. And when my way was not the same as these people's journeys, they spoke with such certainty, and I was so confused, so uncertain that you must be right and I must be wrong, and again, I must be crazy. And I'm so grateful that there was people that walked alongside me and said, no, you're not crazy. No, you're not. And I can't give this to you. I can't hand this to you. You must find it, but I can show you where to dig to find this treasure. I will help you see the X on the map where you to dig, but you have to dig for yourself. You have to have these epiphanies, these moments of awe and wonder. No one else can do it for you. No one else is responsible for the quality of your life. And again, there was times it was very scary because it was very new. And it was very much, again, not what common religion and churches talk about. And and I'm very, very I'm very, very grateful, very fortunate that there was people like yourself that could tell me it's okay. You're going to be safe. You'll be all right. But you have to continue this journey to find what you're looking for. Now, the thing is much, again, if anyone's familiar with the hero's journey, or those stories about the hero's journey, you know, Star Wars talks about, again, the hero, Luke Skywalker, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Wizard of Oz, and such. Again, these journeys of the hero, again, that are living life, and it's disrupted. They never purposely went on this journey. Things just became, so out of what they were in the past. There was no way of not accepting the invitation, which basically means, we will talk about in recovery, we hit our bottom. We just don't want to, but we have to do something different. And we accept the invitation and we move forward and we go through this journey, and without going through all the steps. as we travel through this, we come to a point where we realize the gifts that we're receiving are not for us alone. And then again, as Joseph Campbell describes, the completion of the journey, circling back, is we come back to the community, the tribe that we've been a part of, that we've left. Part of the journey is we have to leave the known. We have to leave the tribe that has become familiar. And when we do, we have with us something that not just benefits us, but benefits others. And I'm so glad that I've met you as someone who has that gift. Now, you mentioned that you had some techniques. Is that something you can share today, or should people reach out to you and do this one-on-one?
Yes, of course. Thank you. And before getting into that, something simple that I said you before, I would like to say here in this video is that we used to be told what to believe, but it's up to us to feel and to allow our heart to bring the right message to us. We don't need anyone else from outside to say what is right or what is wrong. All of us have a conscious mind and a super conscious mind that will help us know that. If we connect with our hearts, when we do something, we feel really like this, and we go to sleep with a smile. That is right. We need nothing more than that.
That's right.
Thank you. So, and speaking about our hearts, let me show you something before showing you the drum. This is our technology we are creating. And this technology is for biofeedback purposes. So its aim, this is a device we are making here in Brazil. And we just use an ear clip, and it detects through the ear clip the heart rhythm. And according to the heart rate, the heart rate, it has variations, which is called HRV, heart rate variability. And that heart rate variability has a maximum value at a certain breathing rate. So the device of this device its aim is to allow people to breathe at certain rhythms, and it helps people find the breathing pattern that maximizes the heart rate variability, which is correlated with the state of peace. When people are told to take a deep breath when they are anxious and like this, they'll say, okay, just relax, take a deep breath, because it helps people relax. So this device says which is your breathing pattern that will maximize your state of peace, and consequently you will stop living anxious for the future, sad for the past, so stressed for many things happening right now. It will take you to the present moment right now. So I just wanted to share this device with you all, and we are going to, this is already working, and for those who are interested, just write to me, or social media, you can find me as F. Marino Rodriguez. And now I wanted to show you the tools I use for my work, for my shamanic work, which is the feather. I have a condor feather here. And I have my drum here, which is the drum I made. It's important that you build your own drum so that it is an extension from you. It is not an instrument. It is a healing tool and a spiritual tool. And it is so powerful that if you're connected with it, it will help you keep your connection with your higher self and get information you need for your spiritual evolution. So would you like me to do a very short demonstration here?
I would, very much so.
Okay. So for everyone who is watching this video, You can sit comfortably with your column straight ahead. Take a deep breath and exhale. Another one. Another one. And now connect with the moment in your childhood when you were very happy, playing, enjoying, discovering. Remember your smile. If you want to smile right now, that's totally fine. And that is our first stage in our life, because we start smiling. And it is our divine right to continue smiling. Now you are a teenager or an adult or an elder person, but your inner child is already inside you, smiling. Belleza veo adentro de ti, belleza veo alrededor de ti, belleza veo adentro de ti, belleza veo todos lados en ti, belleza veo arriba abajo de ti, belleza veo adelante atrás de ti, belleza veo arriba abajo de ti, belleza veo en todos lados en ti. You can take a deep breath and filling your heart with love. Remember that you came here as a product of love, and with love we create life. With love you were brought here. With love you have the right to live. Feel grateful for the life you have at this moment, for all the wonderful things that you have experienced here. And take a deep breath and come back here.
It was wonderful.
Thank you, Randy. I'm very happy it was useful for you, and also very willing to know how everyone is feeling after performing this exercise. Thank you very much for offering this wonderful space. I hope it multiplies for you and for those people receiving your help.
Yes, may love multiply. Well, and if someone would like to contact you one-on-one, what is the best way to make contact with you?
Yes, I have my Facebook account, an Instagram account, and email account. So you can search by my name, Fernando Marengo Rodriguez, and also have, that's in Facebook. In Instagram, I have an account, PhD Fernando Coach, and in my email is also fmarengorodriguez@gmail.com, or in the Healers Network. Everyone is invited. It is a free network and it is expanding. So it's really, really beautiful. And we have people all over the world there.
Yes, yes. I am a member of that group. And yes, there are wonderful healers. Some that I've worked with personally can say they are so effective in what they bring forth. And I can highly, highly recommend anyone who's curious, again, come to this like a child with just a sense of wonder and what is in front of me here now without judging. As Fernando said, it's not necessarily good and it's not necessarily bad. It is what it is. And yeah, if you come at this with an open heart, I believe that you are going to have the same joy and happiness that you had as a child. Again, this is all possible to everyone because there was a point in time when you were young, before the world affected you, before you adopted these things that are really just designed to control you, to domesticate you. If you can return back to that innocence and that wildness that when you were a child and when you were willing to do things that may now seem crazy, I assure you, you come to this like a child. You will be that way, but with a wisdom that has been gained over your lifetime here. So thank you for being part of our conversation. Again, thank you, Fernando, for sharing your gifts and talents. May your love multiply many times over and over.
You too. Many blessings for you and for wonderful people looking at this. Take care.
Till then, may peace be with you.
Bye-bye.
So, yeah.